Hey, welcome to Tim's Tid Bits with Smooth Tim and Larry E. How is everybody
So
out
what's
there
up?
doing? What's going on, brother? How are you?
Much okay, man. Just hanging out, chilling. You know how we do it.
Yep, I'm getting ready to eat too. I mean, we be way past supper time, so we'll do
Right,
our little
right.
show and then we'll get some grub in our bellies. That sound like a plan to you?
Sure, let's get it done. Let's get it done.
Anyhow, yeah, let's start off the show about stealing Christmas, number one. And what's going on with these organized smash and grabs that seem to be an epidemic in Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, all over the place. And what the heck they're doing to retailers. It seems like anytime there's any type of an event, you get these protests. They decide to do smash and grabs, whatever you want to call it, and they just don't realize the repercussions of their actions and how that makes them look.
Yeah, it looks stupid, and then plus they don't have a business, so they don't care. So they just reaping all the benefits of stealing stuff and giving out stuff and getting little or nothing for it, and they're making a little change or whatever. I guess they go smoke it all up or whatever they do. I don't.
I have no idea. I mean, I have they had any incidents in Dallas?
No, we packing down here. You remember when these places get shot? They don't play that down here. You got to go to like a Walmart or you got to go to like something big and massive. But them Walmart door greeters, them ex-military old men and old women, they ain't playing that.
I still remember when they had the BLM march rather down there in Dallas, and things went a little bit south, and they destroyed a couple of businesses down there, storefronts, and broke into a couple of the businesses. And I still remember the video. He was a foreigner who had immigrated into the United States. He got his green card. He had set up this business in downtown Dallas, and they just smashed and just put him out of business forever. He was just crying on TV. It broke my heart. And I don't. That's what kind of people need to see, that kind of stuff. Here's what you did to this person.
Yeah, you know what they do because they don't really see. People are not too smart. People are not too sharp, and people they don't take care of their communities like they should. It's wrong to do that, but it's even worse when you do in your community, knowing that that's the store that you shop at, other people shop at, and that's part of your community. It goes to show that people really don't have that camaraderie when it comes to how we should stick together, especially with small businesses, because small businesses are way more important than these big corporations, because the big corporations are just bleeding these families and making them work all these hours and paying them little or nothing. So you always support your small business, especially when it comes to something like that. You would think they'll say, no, don't do that. Go to Walmart, go to Target, go somewhere where they got good insurance where they can take that hit. But it goes to show you our society is like that, man. Sad.
Oh, isn't it? It is. It is very sad, And I had a little smash and grab video that they're talking, and I think we had discussed about that in a little bit ago in regards to like the purse situation that was in Los Angeles. And let's watch this video. I mean, they stole like $100,000 worth of merchandise on this smash and grab alone out of Los Angeles, and they're going to cover it a little bit for us.
Well, shoppers turned out in large numbers on Black Friday, but so did smash and grab thieves. Organized groups storming stores and taking off with armfuls of merchandise. They've hit California retailers especially hard, and CBS's Lilia Luciano is in Los Angeles with the latest. Lilia.
Well, Carter, it's been a busy small business Saturday, but LAPD is bracing for what could be another night of those smash and grab robberies.
Eager shoppers are filling the streets of Los Angeles, crossing off items on gift lists to work around shortages and shipping delays.
Any particular deals you're looking for around this area?
Just some cool pieces.
Millions of Americans brave the crowds at shopping malls nationwide, spending almost $3 billion in stores, a jump of 21% from Black Friday 2020. After a year of barely surviving, small business owners are hoping for some of those customers to come their way.
You know who the money's going to, and you know where your products are coming from.
Despite a spike in sales, big retailers are facing a smash and grab crime spree in cities from San Francisco to Chicago to New York. In LA County, thieves stormed a Home Depot store, stealing sledgehammers and crowbars.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Another smash and grab crew in Los Angeles hit a high-end designer store, prompting police to go on an all-hands-on-deck tactical alert. But it's not keeping shoppers away.
I'm not concerned personally. I'm more concerned for people that work in the stores. It seems really frightening, but hopefully I see more security walking around, so hopefully people will be okay.
The rash of robberies has now turned deadly. A security guard that was protecting a news crew in San Francisco that was covering the crime spree died today. The former police officer was shot on Wednesday when the gunman tried to steal a news camera. Of course, that hits close to home for all of us. Carter.
Sad news. Lilia, thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah. Come on.
You know, and you and I both come from a security perspective, and it's just like, and that guy had security.
Man.
So you tell me, it's like, you know, and who'd want that job? What, at the Home Depot, he gets his butt kicked, right?
Yeah, well, it's crazy because they had Bodega, the store, the Bodega high-end store. They had all the officers out there, but they hit Home Depot. It was just nobody. I think it was an employee chasing people. Hey, put that back.
That says a little something too, doesn't it?
Yeah, man. It just people are just being people. I'm like, people are opportunists. Not the majority of us. A lot of us are good people, but then you got those people that are opportunists, and they just want to get something for nothing. You know, they just want to get something easy and go flip it, and that's what happens. You know, the small stores, small business owners, they suffer more than anybody, but because they can't afford the high-end insurance, and they live purchase by purchase. Basically, you buy, they survive. So they can't have like a lot of losses, you know, compared to having no profits and a lot of losses. So they're really going to suffer.
Well, put that into perspective. You look at a lot of the big brick and mortars, and a lot of them, let's say even like a Walmart, you see them putting the little Walmart stores. They're closing those down. You know, they can't keep them staffed. They can't keep them supplied.
Yeah, and think about it. You know, if you work at a Walmart, which, you know, the big Walmarts are the big box stores, all the Dollar Generals and Family Dollars and the small neighborhood Walmarts are considered small box stores.
Right.
You look at those, they can't have a bad. They P&L sheets, basically profit and loss. They can't take that big hit. So if you steadily losing
theft
maybe $100,000
for one reason or the other,
yeah, $100,000 a quarter. You can't make that money up. You can't make the money up with your sales if you're losing that much a quarter. Sam's can, or big Walmart can, but you can't make that money up with these small businesses or a small store because that's too much to make up.
I'd be hesitant anymore to buy into any type of franchise, whether it be retail and or restaurant, any of that. I'd be a little bit hesitant.
I'm like, online is the best way you can go. Only thing about online is, you know, if someone steals somebody else's identity, then they can run it up that way. But online is the best way. But you still got to consider the shipping. So it's like it's a double-edged sword. Do you want to buy from the store, or do you want to suffer from shipping issues?
Speaking didn't you have some statistics on the shipping issues?
Yeah, shipping. Yeah, for Christmas, it's crazy this year. I got some statistics right now. I got some pertinent information that people can use if they're going to ship anything this Christmas. Basically, some of the big UPSs and the post offices, United States Post Office, they actually have deadlines and cutoffs where you have to have your packages out for a certain time, or you're not going to get them. So I pull these up online, and you can put up online too. It's called the holiday deadlines for shipping for the holidays. Let's start with this real quick. UPS holiday shipping deadlines. They're saying that the post office saying that you really want to have your stuff out prior to December 15th. First class, December 17th. So if you want to get it and you're still pushing it, and that's first class, you know, it really got to pay a little money to get that. So you really got to have it up before then. Then they say priority express mail gives you all the way into December 23rd. So,
and the cost of that?
It's going to cost you. They don't have, they smart. They didn't put the prices on here what's going to cost you. They put the deadlines, which is smart because I wouldn't put the prices either.
Isn't that amazing though? December 15th. So you better have your pack. That means in the next couple of days, you better have your shit out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's go with FedEx real quick. FedEx 2021 holiday shipment deadlines. Deadline December 9th. If you don't have it out by December 9th, most of their on ground and freight options require you to drop off that present of December 15th. So December 9th, December 15th, that's their cutoff. You know, let's say stuff from December 21st all the way to Christmas Eve, it's gonna cost you extra. You're gonna pay to play. You're gonna pay to play. What about UPS? I'm glad you asked. Let's try UPS.
Yeah, what about UPS?
Yeah, that's their deadline. Wait a minute. They say the December 21st is the last day. Oh, they doing pretty well. The 21st. They say they got USPS, next day air. You're looking at December 23rd, Christmas Eve. You send it by the 23rd. If you send by 23rd, you're gonna receive it Christmas Eve by US. What is that? UPS Air.
Air. Air. That's Well, see, all this you're mentioning, Larry, that especially when it comes down to the last minute shippers instead of last minute shoppers, last minute shippers, right. You're gonna pay.
Man, everything is going up.
You're gonna pay, and not only are we competing, Larry. I don't know where you're competing. You know, to get our gift there, we're competing against robots.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know this?
At the top of 3-year-old Angela's Christmas list this year, fingerlings, little interactive finger puppets.
Once she saw the sloth, she fell in love.
Her uncle, Anthony Saulnier, determined to make her happy, found the toy sold out everywhere he looked. Fingerlings are among the season's hottest toys targeted by cyber scammers. Dubbed Grinch bots, software allows scalpers to snatch up the toys before people like Anthony are able to buy them. They're then resold by third parties at huge markups on major e-retail sites.
It makes me very angry. If it's man against computer, the computer's going to win.
Fingerlings, normally $15, now selling for $100 on Amazon, $1,000 on eBay. The LOL Surprise Doll lists for $10. It's $50 on Amazon, $500 on eBay. Nintendo's Super NES Classic, normally $80, is commanding up to $700 on Amazon and $18,000 on eBay.
We're calling on retailers to block the bots and give parents and kids a fair chance to get the toys they want.
The National Retail Federation says it supports efforts to strengthen enforcement against bad actors. Anthony Saulnier doesn't have time to wait. He shelled out $75 for his fingerlings, a 500% markup.
It puts a big damper on the holiday.
Thanks to the Grinch, bots trying to steal Christmas. Blake McCoy, NBC News, Chicago.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.
Is that fucking amazing? Excuse me.
Opportunists, man. Those people, they know that Christmas plays to the kids. And they know that people will break the bank just to get a kid a gift or get someone a gift.
Oh, it's always been like that.
Playing to it's psychological.
I remember when my children were younger, it was Cabbage Patch.
Man, I was deprived. I had a parent that he was so crafty, he'd just make our gifts. You want what? Get you some clothespins and glue them together and tie it. They ain't no G.I. Joe. It's clothespins tied together.
Wait,
look like a head on them. I'm like, they ain't no.
You want a pair of Nikes, huh? This.
Hey, I want some Adidas one time, and it what was it? It was the old shoe store. And instead of giving me some Adidas from there, it was like the artificial type. They got it from Payless shoe store, and they had like the red stripes on the side. The stripes like it was real.
Yeah,
Adidas.
I remember those that had the little jagged edge, right?
Yeah, and I was a rapper / b-boy. I'm like, hey, I can't battle nobody with these on. These ain't real Adidas.
I battle rap. This gives them all kinds of material. My shoes alone.
Yeah, like this ain't real Adidas. I can't battle rap with no fake Adidas on, man.
But yeah, I found that amazing. And you're right. You know, there's opportunities out there, and to create an algorithm that pays attention to what people are searching for and then buying it up before people do, so that you can double, triple, quadruple the price, whatever they're doing with it.
And people will still buy
amazing to me. It's like
you got to boycott that stuff, Tim.
Well, I do believe, and we ought to take a look into this, that Congress is looking into passing some type of a law or, an act, whatever they call that, to prevent that.
There's always a knockoffs. I remember I wanted Transformers one year, and there was something called the GoBots. There was a cheap version. Transformers they would transform to the jets and fly away. You got to do like 15 transforms. The GoBots, you just take the head, bend it down, put the legs out, put the arms out. There you go. I'm like, hey, it ain't no Transformer. It's a GoBot.
So did you have like Optimus Prime underwear and stuff growing up?
No, I had the knockoff. I had Optimus Prime cousin. Because his cousin, I think his cousin had a stroke or something because side of his arm didn't transform right. It was just stuck like this. I said, hey, that ain't Optimus, man. This is Will Smith. So
Optimus Prime. He couldn't afford the ME.
No, I got this Optimus. I was like, where the Prime at? No, he just got Optimus.
I'm sorry, man. But yeah, so there's another thing for people to be aware of is that, some of these hot toys, as they were talking, you're going to be paying for it. You're going to be paying for it.
They are stealing.
Hey, But
everywhere.
what else? What else is amazing is not only are we running into a shortage, on getting our gifts and having the time to get it there, and shit is sitting out there in San Francisco Bay, as you mentioned.
Right.
Right. I seen on TV the other day that, did you see where they're going to have like a McNugget shortage?
Boy, them kids gonna go crazy now.
Kids are going to go nuts. Yeah, they're talking about
You can't
chicken
make a
tender
McNugget.
McNuggets going to be a shortage on. So I don't know what we're going to do for Christmas.
Hey, that's not even a good part of chicken. How you can't make a McNugget? All they gotta do is take their rib meat, their fake rib, the McRib, and just put some color on it and some bread and fry
Bleach
that.
it. They could bleach the McRib and turn it into the McChicken.
McChicken, exactly. How you can't make a McNugget? It ain't the thighs, not the breast. It's like the chicken. They scrape off the bone of the chicken neck and then they make a McNugget out of it. That's
Well,
shit.
obviously, they can't find enough whatever they are, and there's going to be a shortage. But besides that, there's other shortages. Check this out.
Go ahead, guys. It's your turn.
Getting a picture with Santa is one of those classic Christmas traditions for families with young children. But recent headlines say there aren't enough Santas to meet the demand this year. So let's verify. Is there a Santa shortage for the 2021 Christmas season? We went to these sources for an answer. Mitch Allen, founder of HireSanta.com, a site where people can hire Santas, said the Santa shortage is a basic supply and demand issue.
There are just fewer people than there are jobs.
Allen said his company has seen a 120% increase in Santa requests this year compared to pre-pandemic levels.
We just can't meet that demand. And unfortunately, we're having to turn away business right now.
IBRBS, formerly known as the International Brotherhood of Real Bearded Santas, is an organization that represents more than 1,800 Santas and Mrs. Clauses. Following a year of mostly virtual visits with Santa, Stephen Arnold, IBRBS's president, said this holiday season, demand is up 20% for his group compared to 2019.
Parents want to have that one-on-one experience.
But while demand for Santa is up, supply has declined. Allen said the number of available Santas for his business is down by about 10% compared to 2019, which he attributes in part to COVID-19.
Last we were looking, over 335 Santas have passed away due to COVID and other reasons.
Concern for personal safety is another reason some Santas are opting to sit out. In a survey of 373 Santas, 16% of respondents said they're planning to take the 2021 season off because of the pandemic. So we can verify, yes, there is a Santa shortage for the 2021 Christmas season. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till. To receive daily fast facts to your phone, text Verify to 202-410-8808. And to sign up for our newsletter, visit verifythis.com/email.
I know you're disappointed.
Man, you know what? Because I'm disappointed. Because COVID and R. Kelly is destroying these Santas, man. Man,
I saw that and I was like, man.
When Santa say I'm tired of this shit, that's when you know it didn't hit the fan. Santa's just sitting back drunk like I ain't going in today. I ain't got time for this. I want them kids.
Well, you really can't blame them if you put it into perspective. With the one thing that they said is, look how many Santas they lost due to COVID, and then there's a lot of Santas saying, like I want 300. Let's put it in the realistic terms. Snotty-nosed little germ spreaders on my lap every day.
Oh, she said they were dying off like it was a factory creating just Santas, and then all the Santas they created, they just cut the factory down and say, stop, we ain't making no more Santas. We got to ride these out, and these Santas start dying. And then plus, the Christmas is not the same as it was last year before the COVID hit. Does it not feel the same?
I feel absolutely no holiday spirit going on around me.
A lot of black people I know, they put their Christmas tree up soon as Thanksgiving is over with.
Yeah.
It ain't up. I'm like, the spirit's just not here this year, and you can see it in the Santas. I'm like, life is getting tough. It's a lot of things that's surrounding us as people in the United States, is even in the other countries that it's really just suppressing us and just taking the spirit out of us. It's tough. Tough times. When you just eliminate Christmas, when Santa just say ain't coming in, it's when you know it done got real.
Listen, Santa is some of the Santas are afraid because right now it's the children, those under 12, that's being affected with the COVID. So they don't want no kids spitting in their face telling them that they want some shit, and they like, that's kind of why some of these Santas is backing down, because some of them is older adults, and then they have their opinion on whether they're going to get vaccinated themselves personally, and then they're faced with these kids, you know what I'm saying, that can be carrying something, innocent children of course, but they're carrying something from their parents or from some adult, and then they get on Santa's lap, and you know what I mean.
Santa becomes a super spreader.
Santa's like, I ain't giving y'all shit.
Hey, I've seen these kids. I got a 10-year-old. These kids, I've seen them eat boogers.
Right.
I've seen them dig in their butt and lick the fingers. I'm like, what? I was watching one kid. I had to go throw up. I almost threw up on the kid. It was these, and I can imagine. So it's a safety thing. It's just this COVID has changed everything. It's changed the face.
But it's interesting as we, become parents ourselves, grandparents, whatever the case may be. Yeah, you see that these kids are just exposed beyond belief to all kinds of viruses, mostly, some type of bronchial, cold type stuff.
Right.
All the time. I mean, every year I could expect, my kids, grandkids that, with the sniffles, with some type of damn, flu and or cold, because.
Yeah.
That's
my daughter, when she goes back to school, she always gets like a little cold and gets sick. She's the only one, so
all the time. And I mean, it seems to me like daycares are like the worst.
Yeah, she get around those different germs, those nasty kids. I'm like, and then adults they don't use the safety.
So who wants to be a damn Santa? That was my point. Who wants to? I understand 100%.
Now, if I have my money right, I'll be a black Santa, but I'll be kind of rude. I'll be like, hey man, listen.
You'd be making money hand over fist this year. Think about that. All you need to do is let yourself go.
I know, right? I get a fake.
Just Santa let yourself go, and they say, "I thought you was a personal trainer." Yeah, but I'm working on my Santa.
Working on my Santa this year. That Michael stuff done to me. Get that Michael. Get my skin bleached.
Hey, this is one thing, and it's kind of interrelated. One thing that always kind of, when it comes to Christmas, and a lot of times, and this is just my perspective is, that a lot of times we lose the real perspective of Christmas, which is the birth of Christ. That's the celebration, and I think we lose perspective of that. I seen sometimes there's a interesting separation between church and state, and what they want us to teach. And something came up just recently, and I wanted to how I did not know this, where they you have a private Catholic school, and they were trying to make it so they could not get any type of state funding. It would have to all be through the students. Check this video out, and we'll move on to our next topic.
NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams with an update on that decision. Pete?
Well, the Supreme Court has issued a pretty important decision on freedom of religion, on the wall of separation between church and state. And what the court has done today in a 5-4 decision with Chief Justice John Roberts in the majority is lower that wall of separation. This involved a program in Montana that allowed people to give scholarships that could be used by parents to send their children to religious schools. After starting the program, which gave basically tax credits to people who wanted to contribute these scholarships, the state ended it saying, whoops, we can't do this. We have a provision in our state constitution that says that no state money can be used for churches or religious purposes, so it stopped the program. But today the Supreme Court said that's unconstitutional discrimination against religion. Now, frankly, the line between what is acceptable and unacceptable use of government support for religion has been a very fuzzy one that the Supreme Court has moved around over the years, and I think it's safe to say that this decision moves it a little more in favor of churches, and it will probably doom about 36 or 37 other laws or state constitutional provisions like Montana's that other states have that bar the use of government funds for religious purposes. Now, the details in the Supreme Court ruling, I think, will be interesting to see exactly where the court draws the line, whether there's still any line left between not giving government money for strictly religious purposes. But here, this was money that went to parents who made the decision to send their children to schools or not to send their children to religious schools. So there was a sort of a circuit breaker in the middle here. The parents made the decision on how to use the money, and perhaps that was a saving grace for Montana. But in any event, an important religious freedom decision. We've got 8 Supreme Court rulings left. This term would normally be over on the end of June, but we've got a ways to go yet. Clearly, we're going to get decisions next week, and I think you can't rule out the possibility that we might get them the week after, too. All this term has been delayed because of the delay caused by the pandemic, with our oral argument in March and April basically canceled and some of it pushed into May. So the court is basically behind schedule on a revised schedule with more decisions yet to come.
Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Why don't you subscribe? It's really easy. Just click on that button down there. And for more news from MSNBC, click on any of these videos here for the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more videos from MSNBC with our newsletters. Head over to msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up.
You know, it ain't no money in religion. So that's why they're doing that. When it comes to the government and state, which we're a union, United States, and the whole union, the purpose of the union is to collect money for the union, for all of us. And there's no money in religion. There's no money in, how can I say, justice. There's no money in civil rights. So that's the problem. There's no money in it.
Oh, you got a very good point. Yeah, why invest in it if there's no profit?
There's no profit because you're teaching religion. Well, religion does not have a financial ending. Religion is religion. And that kind of strays away from the whole stealing Christmas thing. But yeah, it does. I mean, look, they've taken. I mean, even in our Pledge of Allegiance, you can't say one nation under God. Yeah, they're taking religion out of schools because schools are functioned by the government through infrastructure, and the money is allocated to the schools. So schools are a state government thing, so the money comes from the government.
Yep, I don't get it.
It's sad, but I learned a long time ago, if it ain't about money, it ain't about sense. And only people I see that's actually trying to help people are the ones that really care. But you have a few people that's part of the government that care, but their hands are tied because they want to stay part of the government.
Wow. Hey, well, let's move on to the next subject, and that would be what's going on with Russia going and deciding to build or beef up its military on the Ukraine border. 100,000 troops, I think they have there, sitting on the border now.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a mega war. See, because you know more about this topic than I do, about the fine-tuned parts. So entice me. Entice the audience. Let's talk to them, Tim.
Well, I do know that, it stems back again from when during Boris Yeltsin's when he was president back in the early 90s. And when Ukraine separated from the USSR, it was USSR at the time, then it became Russia. And then you had all these other independent states that were still part of, the Soviet Union, I think they'd still call it. Heck, I don't know how they term it anymore. But anyhow, Ukraine just declared themselves independent back in the early 90s, and they always had some issues with it. The Russians, that is. And then when Putin came in, that's kind of fired up the resources, because he's being a military type guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get that land back. So it's been back and forth, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years, whatever it is by now. It's, yeah. But I think part of it is that the Russian government has a problem with the Ukraine wanting to get into NATO, which would allow NATO forces. And then NATO had a news conference at NATO. Let me play this news conference from NATO and look at their warning. And then you kind of gives you an idea of what the defensive posture and why that Putin's taking it.
In recent weeks, we have seen large and unusual concentrations of Russian forces close to Ukraine's borders, similar to Russia's buildup in Crimea and the Black Sea region earlier this year. NATO remains vigilant. We are monitoring the situation very closely, and we continue to consult among allies and with partners such as Ukraine and the European Union. Any further provocation or aggressive actions by Russia would be of serious concern. We call on Russia to be transparent about its military activities. It is important to prevent escalation and reduce tensions. NATO stands with Ukraine. We do not and will not accept Russia's illegal and illegitimate annexation of Crimea, and we call on Russia to end its support for militants in the Donbass. I don't want to speculate, but we need to be honest and we need to be clear-eyed about the potential capabilities, or the capabilities that Russia has to conduct potential aggressive actions against Ukraine.
Yeah, so that's significant, because you got different countries and they're teaming up, they're allying up. So whoever's connected to Russia, Russia's going to connect with their people, because Ukraine is connecting with NATO, and then whoever they're connected to, it's a big connection. Everybody's going to connect, their allies are going to talk.
That's what I thought. It reminded me of, and what's the new Broadway play that's out, A West Side Story, where you have the sharks and the gang.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
It's like gang war, and you got one moving in and, supporting or moving in on the turf, and it's like, and I understand where he's a little bit paranoid, because, now being, NATO forces, not necessarily, associated with any particular country, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can move in all kinds of different weaponry, and who knows? Yeah, I mean,
I'd be
a little paranoid. I understand where he's coming from.
I learned over time, where there is blood, there is opportunity. So through all of this happening, some opportunities are going to come up for some countries to benefit from all of this. Somebody's benefiting, it's going to benefit from all of this. There's always somebody who benefits from war. If a war does escalate or break out, we're going to be involved, because we have our allies. Because you were speaking earlier about United States, Canada, and Mexico, and then somehow Mexico. Now this is not guaranteed information we're sending out, but if you go back and look at the history of war, there just hasn't been just one side of country against another country. It's always been allies who have helped in some sort of way. So it's bigger than just Russia and Ukraine and NATO. It affects all of us. So this is way bigger than what the idiots are doing down here I tell you what, let's get some more smash and grab fools to go out there to go to war.
There you go. Y'all want to stay so damn busy. We got an idea.
Do some work.
But you know what? Another one is, let's not forget about what's going on over in China with Taiwan, and watch the response from the White House when it comes to both of these Russia's scenario and China scenario.
Oh, you got a video?
Obviously, the summit is being watched by a number of other adversaries, including Chinese President Xi Jinping. Some observers have described a nightmare scenario where President Putin invades Ukraine, and also simultaneously President Xi uses force to reunify Taiwan with China. Is the U.S. prepared to deal with such a scenario?
The United States is going to take every action that we can take from the point of view of both deterrence and diplomacy to make sure that the Taiwan scenario you just described never happens, and to try to avert the invasion and deter the invasion into Ukraine. That is the object of our policy right now. Those are the steps we are taking. That's what President Biden is doing, and the messages that he's sending to President Putin. And with respect to Taiwan, the sum total of the efforts we've undertaken over the course of the past 8 months in the Indo-Pacific have also all been geared towards avoiding any kind of scenario where China chooses to invade. Yes.
Is there any promise from the Russian side to use leverage to change Iran on its position?
The president and President Putin had a good discussion on the Iran issue. It was productive. Russia and the United States actually worked well together, even in tense circumstances back in the 2014-2015 period, to produce the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. This is an area where Russia and the United States can continue to consult closely to ensure that Iran never acquires a nuclear weapon.
There you go. Tell you, man, there's opportunities. They're not trying to. I'm speaking from what I know. I've been in the military. You've been there. You know about this. What I know is they really are not trying to prevent anything. They're trying to find the opportunities out of what's happening, what's going on. That's what they want to get. They're trying to figure out what can we get out of this. How can we team up? Because I just see opportunity. When I listen to what that guy said, everything he said, opportunity, 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 opportunity. We had a discussion.
And I found it interesting when they was talking about the Iran situation, and that's a whole nother third wheel into the situation, you know, and now you're talking about the world oil supply. In that little, what is that, where the two Gulfs meet down there, and there's that little 30-mile stretch, that little plug point that there's about 3 or 4 countries that border it, you know, and that whoever has control of that little plug point controls, you know, distribution of the world oil. That's a little 30-mile stretch.
Who does control that?
I think it's divided up right now. National Arab Republic borders it, Iran borders. There's about 4 or 5 companies countries that are right around this area. We could talk about that sometime on another show, but I find that amazing too.
Get some more information about it. Yeah, it'll be good to talk about.
But see, that's a point of concern for Russia and America.
Yeah, because you know it cuts off money.
Right.
You can make money from it, or you can lose money from it. You want to stay in tune with those people who are controlled, because you need that petroleum. You need that to fuel your union, to fuel your country. So that's why old men talk and young men fight. So old men should be talking.
I really think they should be, Larry. Yes, they should be. I mean, there's too much to lose.
Yeah, you know, they're not worried about the lives being lost. They worried about the money being lost. Yeah, you have someone to worry about the people being lost, and war is inevitable. It's going to happen. We've always been at war. We had cold wars and we had the active wars, but it's a war brewing somewhere. I can never say brew. I can never say that word, man. How you say that?
Brewing?
I can never say it. My country
ass. You know what though? Yeah. I'm trying to think who that was quoted on this. But they said, after World War III, the there may be a World War III, but after World War III, the next World War will be fought with sticks.
Everything will be demolished.
Everything else is
disintegrated.
Right. I caught the drift behind exactly the comment. It made a lot of sense. Yeah, we have another World War if we are that stupid. Yeah, the next time we fight is going to be with like sticks.
Yeah, it's going to have
anything left.
Everybody has nuclear weapons now. It seems like I know this guy that I used to work with. He was building using some water and some whatever he was doing.
Water in his backyard, right?
He was trying to make his own gas. He was using something and something else and the police came and took his lawnmower. He used his lawnmower. They said, "No, bro."
He was trying to make his own gas.
He was trying to make his own gas out of water and some other chemicals. And they came and they jacked him. They took all this stuff from him. Basically, that stuff you mix in, if you mix it wrong, it'll blow up.
Yeah, so what the hell was he thinking?
Yeah, and I'm like, this is just a guy that's just a typical everyday guy. Imagine what these superpower countries can do with these egghead geniuses with all these weapons of mass destruction. You know, that blow up everything. We'll be fighting with sticks, but we shouldn't be fighting by now. We should be smarter countries.
But there's lots of money in that. And, you know, sometimes we watch those shows, you know, where these, the movies where the guys running arms. And I believe there is a shitload of money in that. And I would also think that there's a lot of property that gets inadvertently lost in the military. That I know, I know a lot of veterans who still got, items that probably are still on inventory somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I call it the PPM effect: property, power, and money. That's how every country is pretty much based. You get the property, which is land. You get the power because you control the stuff on the land and the land itself, and then you get the money, and you keep going from there. The easiest way, and that's how our country was built, on property. Acquiring all these different properties with all this gas, oil, or whatever we have on there. Maybe it was farming opportunities, but property, power, and money, and it goes with wars. I think every war we had is
over property.
Property. So
it is over property, basically. You're right, 100%.
Yeah. Once you get property, you take over the property. It's how it's always been. I think it's been with the Greeks and the Romans. Property. They want the land, man.
But you know what? It's what you don't know. I sparked a thought about 30 seconds. It's what you don't know, because I say, like back in those movies. Do you think if the U.S. Doing an inventory check and there's like, man, we're missing 2 nukes.
He missing a nuke. You tell your ass what they need to be fired.
Do you think that you'd ever know about it?
It ain't like Craig that was stealing boxes on Friday. He got fired for stealing boxes. If you missing a nuke, that's an inside job. But hey, bro.
No, but on the real, do you think it would ever get out so that you'd never know it? The public would never, ever, ever, ever know something like that.
They can be creating this smoke screen, like they're so separate, and they can be doing this all together. Because we talked about those organizations. All those organizations have hands into all these. They have hands in all of these skirmishes, these battles, these little wars. Because it hasn't been a real war. These companies have hands in that. These groups, they know what's going on, but they got to give us something. They got to feed us with something. They gotta have us against them against them. They gotta somehow bring us together, bring us apart. But that's the whole scheme of things. That's how the government works. That's why I don't believe much the government say. You can only believe until it happens. I listen with my eyes.
It's like a magic act, right?
It's crazy because when you're young, you don't.
The bigger move, and you miss the small move that went on behind it. Now, how did I miss the trick? Because you were watching this other garbage.
Yeah, it ain't even chess. It's pretty much magic because you paying attention to this, and the whole time it's right in your face. You can see it, but you just can't see it.
Yeah, because they've got this going on. Yep, distracting you. Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Well, wow. Well, hey, you know what? We did pretty good blowing through that stuff tonight in a record time, and I think it was because, as we mentioned earlier, I'm freaking hungry.
Right? Yeah. Give me some food, and I might even get a workout in tonight. Can I give a tip real quick?
Yeah, let me
Before we
get
get
you
out of
on
here.
cam full. Well, absolutely. You can give us a tip. I need more than just a tip, Larry. I'm telling you that for real. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Larry Richard Estelle from LRE Fitness. I'm gonna give you a tip for this week, and this tip is mainly on scheduling. If you have a personal trainer or someone training you, be smart when you schedule. Now, life waits on no one, and things are going to occur. But you got to keep in mind that your trainer is there to train you, and they do have a life outside of training you too. So ensure that when you set your training dates up, and if you can't make that training date, give the trainer adequate time ahead of time to make the adjustments to reschedule the appointment so they can be there for you. And be reasonable and understanding. If you're serious about getting a trainer and you know the trainer's good, the trainer's available, be serious about it. If you're not serious about getting a trainer, don't waste their time, because a true trainer is not going to waste your time. A true trainer is going to come in and train the heck out of you so you can feel better, look better, and live better. So be serious when you want to train and when you select a trainer. That's my tip from this week from Larry Estelle of LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving. Facebook, LRE Fitness. Check me out on Instagram, LRE Fitness. Just type it up, look it up. And LinkedIn, Larry Estelle. See my face. Peace.
Oh, there you go. Oh, wait a minute. How did that happen? What happened to you? Zoom call.
Happened, Tim? What's that?
That was a side of a box. I don't know why.
Why is Box talking to me?
I don't know, man. What's going on with that? Here,
It's Craig stealing boxes again.
Yeah, something. Hang on. No, I know what it is. Duh.
Looked like it was something you had to take a picture of.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, take a picture of. Yeah, actually, it was a UPS or what do they call it? USB marking where you can scan it.
Okay.
But in any regard, yep, I want to thank everybody for tuning into the show tonight. We certainly appreciate it. You can follow me, Tim McGiffin, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And again, you catch me on one of the other three shows from our network, The Queen Sylvie Show. Then now you know next week. Peace.